All right, everybody, it's time for the cancer update. A couple weeks ago, I made a video. It was like almost a month ago, actually. I made a video talking about how I got diagnosed with stage 0 skin cancer. And I needed an additional surgery to go and make sure that there isn't more skin cancer where they found it. And so I'm going to talk about the result of that additional surgery. I'm going to talk about the experience of that additional surgery, which was way more significant than I had realized. The teaser for that one is when I get to the doctor's office, I was like, okay, so you're just doing a bigger radius around where the area was. You're not going to go deeper, are you? And she said, no, we go way, way, way deeper. I was like, shit. Okay, here we go. And if you've tuned into my streams, you may have caught some of the sort of stories already, but I'll share all of it. I'll bring everyone to speed. But again, I just want to say upfront, thank you. My goal in publishing that video was not to like farm pity or attention, but it was to create awareness about skin cancer. Because you just go outside, and every time you go outside, you get bombarded by UV rays. And those UV rays, there's a % chance that you're going to get an irregular skin cell reproducing. And if your body doesn't clean that up, that's how you ultimately it ends up being cancer. I mean, I'm not a doctor. That's a grand oversimplification, but it happened to just about anybody at any age. And the older you are, the more likely it is to be a problem. But I just wanted to create awareness. And at the end of the video, I said something like, stop effing around. If you have a lot of moles, get your skin checked. If not for yourself, then do it for me. And one message that I received, this person said, hi, Chisgule, I wanted to reach out and thank you for making your cancer video. My dad got skin cancer a year ago. I'm only 31, so I figured it couldn't happen to me. Your video pushed me to go get checked out and have 2 spots removed. One was a stage 1 melanoma. Without your video, I wouldn't have gone. That's why I made the video. Right there. He went on to say, waiting to see what the next steps are, but they got it early. Scary stuff, makes you reevaluate life. I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. This was eye-opening. You know, there was, I think, there was a thing recently where I think the community managers for Rise of Kingdoms, completely unrelated to this, had reached out to content creators and said, hey, like, send us a picture of your greatest moment. And I passed along a picture of this. This was my greatest moment, receiving that message. That is why I made that video, is to just generate awareness and hopefully, I think I said if only one person goes and gets their skin checked and takes it seriously, mission accomplished. So freaking mission accomplished. Thank you for that message. And I hope that other people have also gotten their skin checked. And I know other people have messaged me saying as much. So thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you for taking care of yourself. And, you know, hopefully my video generated some awareness around skin cancer, which I think it has. In addition, we ran a fundraiser in that video. So that video, every single dollar of ad revenue, I committed to donating to charity. So before I tell the story of the surgery and the test result, I just want to pull that up real quick and make the donation to charity and just lock that in. All right, so this is the official YouTube Studio app. And you can see the time and the date. So this is actually when I'm recording this. And I'm going to go in and show you the analytics, and we'll talk about how much we made. All right. So this video got almost 40,000 views, which is pretty wild. You can see the viewership really like peaked. I don't know, around October 5th, right? So it's still getting views. There it is. So, you know, 100 views every 48 hours at this point. So views are pretty stable, and actually 47 people subscribed. You know what's really funny? Actually, this is really funny to me. We can just make a joke for a second. But some MFers out there were like, yo, fuck it. Chisgule's got cancer. Unsubscribe. Now, I think that's hilarious, okay? Fuck him. Unsubscribe. I don't know, man. You can see anytime there's a dip in the subs, that's someone who's like, I'm out. See ya. Rotten hell, buddy. But anyways, ad revenue. Here it is, okay? Now, some people may look at this and say, ooh, is that representative of how much you make on all your videos? I don't think so, because the topic is so different, but there is stuff I could go look at to figure that out. Anyways, The video made $277.64. It's also a super long video. So a lot of views, long video, short watch time on average though. People watch for about 4 minutes. They were like, all right, he's got cancer, fucking him out. But a bunch of people did stick around for the whole story. But most only stuck around for an average of sort of 4 minutes. Anyways, so, the video is still generating some revenue. And I said I'd go like 30 days later. But I think we just make the donation now. We slam $300 as a donation to the Cancer Research Institute. We add that on top of what people have already done. And let's go do that now. All right. So this is the video. Okay. Right here. And we've raised $1,408. So we're going to add $300 to that now. I'm going to go do it and be right back. All right, there it is. $1,708. We raised money to fight cancer. Gosh darn it. I appreciate each and every one of you. I picked $5,000 as a goal. I picked it literally out of thin air. The fact that we raised any money for anything is a huge W. I feel very fortunate that so many folks have pitched in to support an institution that is out there to smash cancer. So with all that said, let's jump back to the war room. This beautiful picture of me paused there. Back to the war room, and let's talk about the surgery that I went through and the fallout of that surgery and kind of what happens next. All right, so I went and I had this surgery, all right? And as I mentioned, they do this second surgery out of an abundance of caution. And what the doc explained to me at the office is she's basically like, yeah, I don't care that the biopsy came back and said there was a narrow margin. What that means is that there was an area around where they biopsied where they felt like there were no cancer cells. So theoretically, they already got it all, right? They're like, yeah, we don't care about that. We go in for a second surgery, we take a shitload of tissue. I was like, oh. And she explained, when I asked, you're not going deeper, are you? She's like, we go way, way deeper. I think they go all the way down to the muscle. And they'd have gone deeper if it was a different stage of cancer potentially. I mean, it's a big, 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 big deal. And this was surgery done on my calf, you got to keep in mind. So there's not that much extra skin hanging out there to just like stitch it all back together, right? Like it feels like my calf had been stretched because they did stretch the skin. Basically, they took a hole like this and they went pretty deep. And yeah, that's the situation. So it's about, bigger than a quarter, just about. They take the size of the mole and add up to a centimeter of sort of cushion, and then want to take all that tissue to go and test it and say, well, hey, we saw cancer. We want to make sure there's no more cancer because it'll kill you if we leave it in there. They went and they did that, and we've been waiting for the results. But the fallout of that is that, I couldn't walk. I still can't walk, actually. I can hobble. And, something that really struck me that, I guess I've got a platform and I'll preach about it for a moment because hopefully it influences somebody in a positive way. But, when I grew up, there was this really major body positivity movement. And while I do think that high self-esteem is really important, there's also like a reality that like I was overweight and I started doing strength training and all these things to change that. And it wasn't exactly easy, but also once I systematized how to go about doing it, it got a lot easier. And it has even gotten to the point where it's just a part of my lifestyle now. And I'm not saying that as like a brag. I'm saying that because there's somebody out there who needs to hear it that like, I wish somebody had, I've lost like 10 pounds and I look at myself, I'm like, damn, I still got a lot of tummy over here. And it's like, how did nobody in my life look me in the eye and be like, brother, hey, you gained some weight and you should do something about that. I'm just throwing it out there in part because it is a really good thing I had started doing strength training, cardio, and all this other stuff. Because when I lost like one of my legs and the ability to do stuff, they didn't take my leg off, but like it's effectively like this for the first week, like this leg was worthless. Okay. Couldn't put weight on it really. I kind of could hobble. So I guess I put a little weight on it, but like, it's really good. I had been strength training it because I had done that. I could go up and down the stairs, right? Because I had, and it's weird because when you lose function in a part of your body, like the overcompensation is insane, but also it like really tests those muscles in the other part of your body in a way that I like was shocked at how much work I was doing with my quad on my left leg. So look, I'll talk about like strength training and health and wellness probably in another video, but I want to just drop that message in here is like, wow, it was so important that I had done that. And I'm like somewhat flexible because, bro, like there were moments where like I could have really gotten hurt trying to move around if that was not the case, or my mobility would have been greatly constrained. Okay. The recovery process has sucked. Today I get the stitches out, and only yesterday did I actually get the test result back. And the good news is they didn't find any more cancer and all the extra tissue that they took out, which is kind of like, cool. So we did that extra surgery, like, and it kind of didn't need to happen. That's awesome. That's great. But there's a % chance that it did need to happen. And so it's good that we did it. And I'm just going to keep telling myself that because the recovery process sucks a lot. Like a lot. And like, I don't even have it that bad as far as people who got cancer. I mean, stage 0 skin cancer, this is about as good as it gets for catching and remediating. So GG. So with all that said, great news. Don't have cancer anymore, but I got a lot of moles, chat. Over the next 2 years, I go in every 3 months. They're going to carve me up turn me in a Swiss cheese. Okay. Cutting off moles, I think. And only after the end of that 2-year period am I really like out of the woods, I think. Before my guard goes down completely is going to be 2 years from now, probably. At least I want to go through a couple rounds of their carving off moles and they're like, yeah, they're all fine, before I'm feeling really cozy with kind of where I'm at. But that's a great outcome. We celebrate wins as they come through. GG. So long story short, my doctor found skin cancer. Thankfully, it was stage 0 because I had been very proactive about getting skin checks every year because I have a lot of moles. We found it early. If you have moles, consider consulting your doctor and getting that checked out. Thank you again for your tremendous support. I have really appreciated and valued it and still do. And for those of you who have taken action, I'm proud of you. Thank you for taking care of yourself and getting your skin checked. There's a bunch of people in my life who have now gone and done that. Even my wife was like, all right, I'm getting a skin check. I got moles. The doctor told her, like, you're fine. And see you in a long time from now. Right? But like, okay, at least she was given that clarity of like, you don't have a lot of abnormal moles. All of your moles look normal. Like, I don't need to see you for a really long time. So she'll get her checks far less frequently than I will because all my moles are funky looking, I guess. Abnormal is my normal. I need to do that more. But, you know, again, to the naked eye, to the untrained eye, like it's just going to look like no different. It's just moles, right? So get them checked. I received way more messages than I could possibly respond to, and it really did mean a lot. And I read every single message, even though it was impossible for me to respond to every single one. So thank you for sending all those messages through. Know that I did read each and every one. Thank you.